Welcome, everyone, to Louisville, Kentucky, and we may be in the bluegrass state, but blue is the color to avoid if you love the homestanding Louisville Cardinals. What a game and what potential drama we have in store. You've seen this script before. Top 10 team goes into a cauldron of emotion on the road and just hopes to be able to get out and tell about it. As we'll see the #1 team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on a team from the ACC, the Louisville Cardinals. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. And the Cardinals will kick it away to start us off. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Wolverines offense is on the field for the first time today. And here he is, one of the best receivers in the game, and he just commands attention both from the defense and from the fans.
Yeah, he's a guy you got to keep your eye on, and you're going to see him line up all over the field in this game. He can play in the slot, he can play out wide, he can run the entire gamut in the route tree as well. Really nothing this guy can't do.
You see, this is what great defenses do. Great defenses swarm to the football. So when you do miss a tackle, it's not the end of the world. There's another guy right there to wrap him up. Great defenses seem like they got 12 guys on the field. Nice job swarming to the football, engulfing the running back.
From the gun, he leaves it with the back. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs.
What a nice run there. And from the beginning of time, Michigan football has been synonymous with running the football. You can think back to Tyrone Wheatley, Anthony Thomas, Chris Perry, Hassan Haskins. Big physical runners that also had sprinter speed, and that could change the game. This dude right here, every time he has the football, he has the ability to go the distance, and that's what makes this Michigan offense so dangerous.
Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. Give to the running back. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
And that looked like an easy decision for the quarterback. Hand it off, give him the ball, let him get 5+ yards. Nice decision. Nice job by the running back getting the yardage.
They'll throw it on first down. Get it out on the screen. Not able to break the big one on that screen to the running back, but he found enough and a solid pickup on first down. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is, because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
The Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Trying to make magic with his feet. He was able to squirt free and pick up a few and avoid a negative play there. One of the offshoots of expansion, particularly in the Big Ten, was how viable could the ACC remain, and it just sort of ramps up the stakes when they meet on the field.
Yeah, I think all of this conference realignment, all the money talk, the loss of rivalries, but it's the haves and the have-nots. And let's be honest, the SEC and the Big Ten are the big two gorillas, right? Anytime you can make a statement and dent these two big powerhouse conferences, go do it.
I think the ACC, too, is going to play with a chip on his shoulder. Back in conference realignment, it was the best 4 programs from the Pac-12 that all chose the Big Ten and not the ACC, so this one will be interesting.
They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. And the Wolverines will try to pin them back with the punt. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Oh, right through his fingers, he muffed it. Too much contact after the fair catch signal, and it'll cost him here. Looking for a productive play on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads it left. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
Dropping back, it's Gilmore. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
What a great play. This guy is a force on this D-line. You think about Michigan football defensively, they've got dudes up front. Aiden Hutchinson, Brandon Graham, Mozzie Smith, Rashawn Gary. Guys that can win one-on-one and guys that change and force your game plan to have to adapt for them. You need to double team these guys if you want to have any chance. This is that type of player. He's got so much ability.
All kinds of time to survey the field, and he throws left. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
And as a defense, that's what happens if you don't get pressure on the quarterback. It doesn't matter how good your secondary is. If the quarterback has all day to throw, somebody's eventually going to get open, and they're going to hit those big plays. So defensively now moving forward, you have got to do a better job getting home to the QB.
The Cardinals want to move quickly. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing.
And there's a great example of living to play another day. QB in the pocket, nobody open, throw it out of bounds.
And after the incompletion on first down, this offense looking at second down. They want to throw it. Makes the grab. It's Ivory. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31. And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. And this one is anything but routine, a 48-yard attempt from the right hash. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out.
This is a team that really prides themselves on starting fast. We've seen that before, and here they are playing at home today. Nice job. Lots of poise, good emotion. They don't get the touchdown they would have liked, but they kick a nice field goal. They've got the lead. Head coach has to be happy with that.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too.
Going for the big play. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down. And now on second down for this offense. He's looking to throw. Fires to the big fella. And that is good versatility there and a big hit from the backer in pass coverage.
A nice job by the defense there tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
On 3rd and short, they keep it on the ground here. And with that effort, they pick up a fresh set of downs. They have it at the 34-yard line. The Wolverines will have it 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. He's going to run it. He found a little opening and got loose. They couldn't stop him in the backfield, so a solid pickup there.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Out of the gun, the give to the back. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. And the Wolverines come to the line in the hurry-up. They'll try to run for it. He's got 1st down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49.
Well, the offense is in a really nice rhythm right now. It seems like no matter what they're dialing up, they're getting positive yards, and it just feels so good as a play caller when you know on 1st down you can get yards like that turning around and handing it off.
Yeah, and on the other side, you're scratching your head going, what the heck can I do here? You got to find something. The defense has got to find a way to create some momentum. Whatever they're doing right now, it's not working. So you got to keep going through that play sheet and maybe find something a little bit different that can give this offense something to think about.
2nd down now as they're ready to go back to work. Running back searching for a hole. Stop is made at the 36. Let's call it a 5-yard gain and a 1st down.
You know, they pride themselves on being physical at the point of attack, dominating at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there picking up the 1st down.
They'll throw it on 1st down. He looks that one in nicely.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too, but don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
I love this guy because he brings a physicality to this Michigan offense. Bo Schembechler would have loved this guy. He would have loved to jog a few extra tight ends on the field, get the QB under center, student body right, and give this guy the football. He would have fit in perfectly with his running style. Man, he is hard to bring down.
Wants to throw on 1st down. It's complete to the left. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. This offense just wearing this defense down. 11th play of the drive coming. Quick pass on the jet motion. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. And they have converted their first 2 3rd down opportunities, but this one a 3rd and long. They're bringing heat. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. They make the stop, but not before the screen has hit them for a 1st down and much more. Really good execution by this offense. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. They're going to throw it again. Buys a little extra time. He just wisely got rid of that one. The worst thing that can happen to you is to turn it over on 1st down in the red zone. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. Swings it out to the flat. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land. If you consider the swing pass an extension of the running game, well, they shut down the run and the swing on that one.
No doubt. Locked him down. Great job seeing it right away. Eyes on the running back, and as soon as they threw it, multiple guys breaking on the football, getting to him, not letting him do any damage after the catch.
This is one of those momentum turning points. If this defense can force a field goal attempt, that is a victory for them. Looking to scramble. And the third down pass is incomplete.
Third and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
So they aren't concerned about trying to tie the game. They'll leave the offense on the field and try to take the lead on fourth down. From the gun, fires into the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Wolverines.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
Louisville has it back in the offense, coming out ready to attack. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
They're getting this guy lathered up, and they try the middle of this defense. It's not happening. And the Cardinals headed quickly to the line. To the air, it's Gilmore. Fires to the middle. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose. And I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, and really, really be physical. Because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and pop out.
The Cardinals are rolling down the field.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Just feeds the running back. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged in the middle, it's McCaffrey. And Shore tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
You know, oftentimes these slot receivers, they're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're really good at finding the open spaces in the middle of the field. And you saw that guy attack the defense in the perfect spot, making life easy for his QB.
Makes the grab, and it's plenty for the first down. And he's bounced out of bounds, but not before a very productive pickup. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you've got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the first down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5. Hit a speed bump on that last play. Now work to do on 2nd and 15. Grabbed in the backfield. It's King. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. They've methodically worked the ball down the field. 11th play of the drive coming up, but this one 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. It's wise not to be too greedy, and they'll go ahead and send out the field goal unit. After the earlier field goal, they'll try again, this time a 43-yard attempt. Kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. NC State is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This Pac team has picked itself up before, and they are capable of it again today. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Toledo. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're
got a lot of running room. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop. Took just one play, and they got it almost to midfield. First down from the 49. He's looking to throw it. Takes a shot as he lets it go. And it falls incomplete, and the offense is lucky to have it. Defender right there almost had it in his grasp. After the misfire, now on second down. He's looking to throw. Out of the backfield, he's open. He'll work his way down to the 28.
It is so good for an offense early in the game to get in a rhythm and to start stringing first downs together. It makes the game really easy and puts that defense in a situation where they're starting to get tired. They want to sub. They want to get other guys on the field. Stringing first downs together like this makes it hard to defend.
Quarterback will audible. Looking to go up top on first down. Working that left side now. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Trying to get a rhythm in the passing game now on second down. He's looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one. The offense will quickly use a timeout. The Wolverines trying to cash it in on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. They moved it forward to the 2. Now it's second and goal. Tries again to get it in. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on second down, this little third to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. On third and goal, they'll try to throw it in. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there. So now on fourth down, they'll try to salvage a 3 and just get points before halftime. From the left hash, this one shouldn't be too much trouble. That is no good. And the lead remains at 1 after the miss. So the offense has had enough. They'll take a knee and wrap up this first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, who's had a better seat there in Louisville for a fun first half than you?
And the Wolverines will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. If they're going to get on top in this game, they're going to have to find a way to get the running game going in the second half.
Agree, so it can create some more balance, some more unpredictability. I feel like this defense has got a good beat on what they're doing, especially if they don't mix it up a little bit. So I do look for a little second half running the football, Palmer, out of this group.
And I think the thing, Dave, is they just got to be more physical. I don't think this is a scheme question about trying different run plays. I think it's up to the big fellas up front. They've just got to make the decision that they're going to be tougher here in the second half so that they can win this game.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. If the quarterback's a little more on target there, maybe they hook up, but it's an incompletion. And the Cardinals send out the punt unit. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. Makes a move. He just about took that one to the house. They finally bring him down, but when you have a return like that, it pretty much eats up everything gained by the punt. A great spot to start this drive for the offense. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Makes the catch. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that.
And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Michigan. Lining up to add another. And they kick it through for the extra point, and they have an 8-point lead. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Louisville has it back in the offense, coming out ready to attack. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here, Palmer.
Yeah, David, bad execution.
And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
And the defense just gets their 4th sack of the day. And guess what? This offensive line, they gave up 4 last week too. So you need some consistency up front. Make sure you protect that QB that can make those big plays for you.
Got some work to do here on 2nd and 8 from the 20. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Looks as if he'll work his way forward and get it up to about the 11-yard line.
It's a nice game, but the big theme here is they just haven't been able to get the run game going on offense. They've been very one-dimensional. They're just not being physical enough at the point of attack.
On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. They'll run the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down. The Cardinals will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll field the punt and look for room. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make? Because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Going up top on first down. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
Well, that was the guy the quarterback wanted to go to right from the jump, but a better job by the defense in coverage forcing the incomplete.
Looking to pass on second down. Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Wolverines. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. The offense strikes again to extend its lead here in the second half.
And they got everything working. How great is this? You extend your lead. Now you get your defense back on the field. Great job taking advantage of the situation and building on that lead.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
And the Cardinals moving quickly to the line.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws right in those holes. Get those first downs. Get those big chunks.
Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. Back to pass. It's Gilmore. Quickly to the tight end. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. The Cardinals get enough to move the chains.
That is how it's done on third down and short. No doubt about it. An easy hole to get through and clearly get the first down.
If you really want to simplify football, the low man wins. That time the offense got the better of the D. Easily picked that up.
Pulls and throws off the RPO. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. Defense looks like they're coming. Off play action on first down. Trying to get to him. And the defense gets to the quarterback.
And it's been a long day for this offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it's hard to be successful. That's the 5th sack they have given up. The offensive coordinator has no answers, and this defense has been flying around.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now
picked off. Taking it the other way. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And when it's third and so long, it's very predictable. I'm bringing more DBs on the field. I'm bringing more speed. I know you're going to pass the football. Offenses have to be aggressive. They have to take shots. They did it there. The defense makes the big play.
Throws to the tight end. Ball in the air. Intercepted. Bringing it back. Touchdown Cardinals. How about that D coming up with a play like that?
And the free safety roaming the middle of the field, and you can see just reading the quarterback's eyes. And how about the break on the football, taking a great angle to pick it off and then do some damage and make the big play for this defense to score some points.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. That last pick 6 after a drive like that, David, can swing the momentum of a game.
The defense is still celebrating. I mean, such a big play. I mean, they gave up some yards but did what they're supposed to do. Now Jesse, this offense has to put a drive together.
Yeah, they have to recapture some momentum here. What they can't do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back.
And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
And he'll move his way forward to the first down. They'll mark it at the 35.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that first down.
Fast motion from the offense. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. And that defense doesn't allow a cutback, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain. After trying the running game on first down, they come to the line on second down. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
And that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain.
Well, on offense, you've got to love the way your offensive line is playing in this game. They're getting tremendous movement up front. They're climbing into second level and really giving these backs and ball carriers a lot of room to run all game long.
Caught in the backfield. It's Potts. He is like a loose boulder just rolling to the 32. Big catches, big plays, tons of yards through 3 quarters for these two guys. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. Finds the tight end. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. The Wolverines come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Making sure they have good balance, keeping it on the ground. They make the stop inside the 25, working closer to that red zone, a gain of 6. Line of scrimmage will be the 24. They've already peeled more than 3 minutes off the clock on this drive as they stand over the ball on second down. Setting up the screen. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Michigan. They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start. And the extra point splits the uprights, and the lead balloons to 15. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down to go out and refocus this drive, Dave.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him. Maybe get the ground game going, help around him a little bit with this system.
The give to the tailback. Tried to move that pile forward. He maybe gets 2. He's down at the 21. And the Cardinals in the hurry up. Looking to throw, it's Gilmore. Throws to the wideout. Wide open downfield. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line.
Well, trailing like they are right now in the fourth quarter, their execution offensively is just going to have to be at a premium. You can't afford a lot of incompletions at this point. Everybody is going to need to be on the same page moving forward.
And it's been a struggle for the run game for this offense. Man, this is something they hang their hat on. You saw last week, you saw the highlights, and just give it to the running back. Let him do his thing. Haven't been able to get him going. I don't know what's going on, but they got to find a way to get their talented back some space so he can make some plays.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. On third down, he drops to throw. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Can't hang on to the ball. He had it right in his chest, and it'll be fourth down. No signs of any kind of kicker as they'll leave the offense out there to try to move those chains. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Finds his big tight end. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down. The Cardinals are moving quickly down the field.
Oh, and he finds his slot receiver on that fourth down throw. And I'll tell you, this guy is not the biggest receiver in college football, but he does such a good job working the middle of the field. He's just able to get open and read coverage. Every quarterback loves having a slot receiver like that.
A lot of urgency for this offense.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
You know, you're in the red zone. You bring out a bunch of tight ends on the field. So the defense, they were expecting run on that one. They were physical, and they were able to force the negative play.
Dropping back, it's Gilmore. Complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On third down, going up top. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Defense just cradling that fumble and securing it. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. Still running at the 40. He's off to the races. The 20. Touchdown Wolverines. And the beatdown has ensued. That lead's a little more comfortable now as they close in on a victory here in week 3.
Yeah, salt into wound, right? Late in the fourth quarter, you can run the football, run this game out. No, sir. I'm going to continue to pad my stats, find my receiver out wide, and get me another touchdown.
On the move from inside his 5. And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. This one feels as if it's starting to get away from them a little bit, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there's a lot of teams in college football at this point that would just quit. So, David, we're going to find out a lot about this team right here.
Yeah, just running out of opportunities. You give opportunities away like this, you're trailing. Every possession is going to be important from here on in.
A little more space, open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to move it through the air. Right down the middle. Got him downfield. And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a...
Oh, what a grab by the defense. Takes it the other way. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
The handoff, keep working on that clock.
And that running back essentially just did everything right. Not only did he rip off a 9-yard run with the lead late in the game, but he stayed in bounds. He had the awareness that if I stay in bounds, the clock keeps running, and it increases our chances of winning this game.
One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
And the Wolverines will snap it on 1st and 10. Might as well give it to him again.
And there's nothing more frustrating than when you get late in the game and you know they're running the football and you don't stop them. It's been that kind of day for this defense. They haven't played well. They're going to have to go to the well. They're going to have to figure some things out. Practice this week, I can promise you, will not be a lot of fun with these coaches.
Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
Well, the defense finally able to make a play, getting a tackle for loss. They haven't had many of those today because this running back really has answered the bell. They knew coming in they were going to have to give him the football, force feed it to him, and let him go to work. He's done that. Well over 100 yards rushing in this game, and the defense just has not had the answers consistently for him. And sometimes for the defense, it just takes one play, right, to create some momentum. Obviously, this guy's been eating him up. He's got over 100 yards rushing on the day. But finally, David, they get something positive here in the run game defensively.
But you kind of know that coming in. He's going to get his. Such a great back, and he's had a great day. Need to put more plays together like that right there.
Winning can become a habit. Now they've won back-to-back games and probably building a little confidence from that.
Yeah, and you want it to be a habit. That's what you talk about as a coach week after week. Let's build. Let's create momentum and continue to build on it. And then you look up at the end of the season, you never know where you could be, what dreams you could bring to reality.
At the end of the day, I think good teams find ways to win games. And over these last 2 games, it hasn't always been easy. They've had to overcome some adversity, but at the end of the day,